What it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome y'all to another week, another new episode of Tech File. We got some exciting news to talk about. We got a John Cena heel turn. We're gonna talk about some NBA teams, how they've been doing since the trade deadline. Talking about some teams that have just been having miserable seasons and who's had the most miserable one of them all so far. So it's a lot to get into on this episode. So let's hit that theme music and get to it.
Hit him hard, let's go. Red T-E-C-K, running back like where's my replay? Got it all in the mix, no DJs. Said it's hard in the game like eating a miscellaneous. Spitting real talk for the entertainment. The podcast stand the game up and they get stuck back down like a WrestleMania. Tell them that better get their nose ready at a home city. And I'll get it block even on a low setting. And you know what you say, so we never gotta get tight than everybody else. Cause you get ready. Ain't nobody else doing this like I. Better keep them cameras and microphones hot, cause this one's a vibe. Gotta run this race, so I try. Going live with the pie. Know the mob. Came to my ear later. Shout out to my point guard. We about to hit him hard. Got him thrown in the tap. Tell the red blow the whistle. This is technical five.
Welcome to episode 380 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. LaPodged. Come taking a seal.
All right, man.
Anyway, I am the Eric J.
Only known as
The Eric J.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman.
The gentleman.
The everyday gentleman.
24/7.
But better known as Mr. Ooh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, y'all. Some housekeeping before we get into the swing of things here. If you are not yet already following us on our various social media platforms, make sure that you correct that and head over to our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter, our Blue Sky at Technical File, TECKNICALFOUL, Technical File Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. On the YouTube side of things, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you like up the videos when you see them and join us when we record the episode live every Tuesday night. We already got Shylin in the comments, the MC behind our theme song. Shout out to Shylin.
What it do?
AKA Mr. Woo Woo Woo.
Mr. Woo.
So yeah, make sure y'all join us every Tuesday evening on the YouTube side of things as well. All right, so we are doing a virtual show this week. We had some issues with the studio equipment. What up, though, to Dwayne in the comments. So instead of the game that needs a name, we are actually going to start off the show with a Sporkle quiz here. This is going to be better for Sporkle. That's what it's called, Sporkle. So this is going to be one of those things that's better if it's online, if you're watching the YouTube video than the audio, but you will still be able to participate a little bit.
Because we have a timer, those that's in the actual chat can now participate as well.
Yes, you can. So help us out for everybody in the comments as well. We are going to be doing a Sporkle where we have to name every single NBA MVP of all time. Ever. Ever.
Where all these names at now? Yeah. Y'all could have
named in the comments. Come on through. We're gonna need your help.
You ever said y'all should have named? Y'all should have said, bring your ass on.
All right, Eric.
I won't be able to see the comment, so you'll have to help me there.
I got you.
But I'll start the quiz in 3, 2, 1.
LeBron James.
There we go.
LeBron James. Oh, damn, they just fill it in.
Yeah, Kevin Durant.
You got Kobe?
Kobe. We put Kobe on there. Michael
Westbrook.
Jordan. Oh, my bad.
Jordan, yeah.
Giannis. Jokic. Embiid.
Damn.
Great. Jerry West.
Yeah,
West
Duncan.
did not win one.
He never won.
Tim Duncan. I thought he
No.
No, he didn't. Tim Duncan.
Damn, Duncan. Nash.
Yep. Shaq.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
Who else we got? Did
Oh,
the Dream
Allen
one?
Iverson.
Wait, y'all said it at the same time. Who?
Go ahead, man.
Iverson.
I got Hakeem.
Olajuwon.
Damn, I feel like we missing obvious ones. Did we
Right,
get
I'm
Derrick
looking at
Rose?
the years. Like we missing
Oscar? The Oscar one?
Derrick Rose is one for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Bill Russell.
There you go.
Larry
Bill Russell. That's
Did we
in that
say
column
Wilt?
too.
Is Wilt up here?
What did you say? What did
What about Larry? Did he get one?
You know Bird got some and Magic.
Yeah, Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Magic got some too. Shit.
Damn, we missing the recent joints.
We missing 8.
That's what I'm thinking of now.
Who the
Yeah,
fuck
right before Giannis.
was between?
We
Oh,
got Giannis.
did Harden get one?
There you go.
Oh yeah. There.
You missing a real obvious one from the middle of the last decade.
Ain't you supposed to be helping us two types of names?
Yeah,
Well, I know all of them, so I could just run off all of them.
Run them through. This is a group effort.
Let me know when y'all want me to just start going.
Did you? No, wait. We don't got
No.
Steph. What's Steph?
We don't got
There you
Steph Curry
go.
on there.
We'll let Eric finish them out.
KD on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got everything from 08 forward.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of random.
2007. Who the fuck was in 2007?
He's from Europe.
Dwight Howard was the no.
Dirk.
Dwight Howard.
Dirk.
Dude.
Yeah, there we go.
04. So in between Duncan and Nash.
Oh, David Robinson.
Damn. I'm really
We
close.
missing like some. Now we got to think of some old school too. Baylor.
Oh,
Elgin Baylor.
He never won one.
What?
Damn.
So 04 would have been somebody that was a rival of Tim Duncan's.
Man, type the name in.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
There we go, KG. Come
I
on,
forgot
Eric.
about KG.
Run them
I
through
thought
for
we
us.
said KG.
No.
You got both Malones, Carl and Moses.
Man, fuck her.
Boom.
Redacted and Moses.
Yeah. Somebody from inside the NBA.
Oh, like Barkley, did he get one?
Yep, that's 93.
93.
Okay.
81.
I know
81.
Barry gets one.
We got Steve
Did we
Nash.
say
Which Barry?
did we say Elgin
wrong.
Baylor?
Walton.
We said Baylor, didn't we?
Yeah, but he didn't win one.
Oh shit. I thought he
We
did.
put Parrish on there.
Okay.
No.
Them comments real quiet, y'all. Who's some
Oh,
MVP?
well done.
Ain't
NBA
not a word, not a now, nada.
Okay, we got Russell. We got Will.
I got Bob Petty and Bob Cousy.
So we just missing the MVP at 75, 73, 70,
Willis Reed was
69.
one. McAdoo.
Come on,
Bob.
take us home. We got 2 minutes left.
Irving. Dr. J.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 left. 69 and 73.
Oh, this is gonna piss me off. Is it what's on sale? 73. Oh, Collins.
Who?
That ain't it. Oh, he got it. He got it.
Dave Collins.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I told you I knew all of them. It's just that big one.
Every NBA
So-
MVP of all time. There you go.
I like it. We
There you
got.
We did it.
Well,
Yeah,
technically, we all got them all.
We did it. We did it for The Rock.
Not a name, not a noun, nada. I don't want to hear nothing.
Not a comment to help us along the way.
Oh,
What's
Not
up?
one. Ain't nobody put no
Shame,
Jordan,
shame.
no Shaq, no Kobe's, no nothing.
Shame, hold on. Now, as soon as we
Nothing.
start talking, they could have come in there. Oh yeah, no. So they ain't shit.
It's because you got another chance next week for those who hear us and those who see us.
Right. So that was fun. I
But
like
just
that.
to speak to, I mean, I know we're not starting with NBA, but just to speak to how rarefied that area is, like, think about the names that we just listed off and think about the names that we didn't, that never won an MVP. Like, that is some serious company.
He said all I had was Giannis.
Dwayne said all I had was Giannis.
I ain't even mad at you, bro. I ain't even mad.
All right, we ain't gonna hold it no more. We got to talk about Elimination Chamber first because we had the heel turn of all heel turns occur at this event. So we're gonna start with wrestling, hit NBA, then finish with NFL on this week's show. So let's get to it. WWE Elimination Chamber took place this past Saturday in Toronto. A four match card. And the show started with a bang. bigger one. So, gents, let me just start here. I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are gonna say, but what was the best moment of the Elimination Chamber card?
The heel turn. Easy money. That motherfucker's everywhere. Everywhere.
First
Sports networks, all of that shit.
Talking about the John Cena heel turn. We said that, we were like, this could happen. We thought it was going to happen. I thought it would take later on for this to happen. Ken thought it was going to happen at the Elimination Chamber, and it happened. And even though it was something that I predicted, the execution was still even better than what I could have imagined it to be. Like, it's just nuts. Let me start here. Is this the most shocking heel turn of all time? Did this surpass the Hogan joining NWO, or do y'all think Hogan is still the top heel turn?
I think it's still Hogan.
I can't speak to it because like I wasn't watching wrestling when Hogan turned. I would imagine that was probably more shocking just because it was seemingly out of nowhere from what I understand about like the context of the time. But like for my money, it's definitely, if it's not number one, it's number two behind that. Like those are the only two that are in even competition for biggest heel turns of all time. And like so much of what came after the Hogan turn pushes that up. So we have to see what they do with Cena from here. But yeah, it's 1A, 1B as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean Hogan, they had the audience so hot they were throwing trash in the ring at them, like trash. Like Mean Gene was in the ring, like, what are we doing? Like, what is happening, Hogan? He interviewed him, and he's, you know what, brother? This is a new world order. Like, I think Hogan is still one, but Cena is two. Cena is right there because it was pure cinema. Everything about that moment outside of Travis Scott is exactly what I love about wrestling.
I was gonna say, Sly said racist man is still top because he beat up Macho.
I would say the Hogan turn was still bigger only because that really propelled WCW during the Monday Night Wars. That, like he said, was literally, from what it seems at the time, was out of freaking nowhere. Like not the hero eat your vitamins and 24-inch python, man. Not Hogan loves the babies, not him. Cena, we've been asking for a while, and for it to come in his very last run, it was kind of a when, not if kind of thing for a lot of folks. Not everybody, but a lot of folks. Like, okay, if he gonna do it now. And with Hogan, like I said, it was like literally left field.
Yeah,
like where
so
the fuck did that
the
come from?
Other tagged, like,
and that helped carry them as well after he did his heel turn. Cena's is gonna be it's a comet.
Maybe. Like, but maybe part of the heel turn is like, I lie. I ain't retiring. I'm gonna keep this going. I'm just gonna
all heels lie.
It's gonna be final boss, not final boss. It's gonna be Tribal Chief Part 2, where it's just like I'm just gonna have a chokehold on this title for ever. But
he was like, nigga, psych.
Like he did the reverse Mark Henry, where he's like, no, I ain't retiring.
That's still one of my favorite. Like that was one of my favorite wrestling moments. Mark Henry fake retirement, but Cena doing this and seeing all the reactions of people just around the world, seeing kids crying, seeing adults like, oh, I'm here for it. Like I've been ready. Like he never went heel before because Vince was like, you are a top baby face. We got to keep selling this merch. They got Cody now, and honestly, the way he got whooped again is going to add to the baby faceness of Cody Rhodes going forward. I was shocked initially. He just told Rock, go F yourself, and he didn't edit himself like I just did. I was sitting there like, oh, not an F-bomb live on TV.
So I have a question because like I've been curious, and like my kids don't watch wrestling, so I don't, like I don't have a reaction there. Ken, your kid watches wrestling. Like, what was his reaction to the Cody F-bomb, the Cena heel turn, like just all of it? I want to hear it.
So his thing is that he loved Cody because I love Cody, right? So, but his thing was like he was shocked, right? He was like, "Oh, what happened? Why is he doing that? Like, why is he beating up Cody? What happened?" And I was trying to explain to him, like, "Oh, he turned the heel." The Rock. I was explaining everything, but his reaction was shocked when he said the F-bomb. He just turned to me, looked at me, and be like, he is cussing. I was like, yeah, he cussing out. I was like, yeah, he pissed off. Hey, but let me get off, man. Hey, first of all, fuck The Rock, fuck Travis Scott, fuck all them niggas, dog. Fuck John Cena.
Yeah.
Okay, that got me again, right? Because I did think it was going to happen, but I didn't know that they really was going to do it. And again, it was pure cinema, like the way that they did it. Like watching, like Kobe. I said Kobe. Cody is Cody is literally like the ultimate babyface, right? So again, like I wanted him to turn heel, but it doesn't make sense for him to turn heel at this moment. But if you're setting up like Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania, that's like a fantasy booking that they actually able to pull off. Plus, you got heel Cena. Like again, I miss John Cena's run. So kids love John Cena. Like I don't even know how my son know about John Cena, but he know and love John Cena or whatever. So it's cool for like people like me that wasn't watching during that time to get a chance to like see like the Cena. Of course, he's not going to be the Cena of old, but just to watch everyone else's reactions to it. Like my reaction wasn't like so shocked because like I didn't see, again, like I said, I didn't see him when he was like, the top guy or whatever. But I'm all here for it, man. I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for the drama. Like, they in their bag right now.
They in their bag big time.
I was pleasantly surprised. I've been a Cena fan forever. So now I'm very excited to see what heel Cena gonna do. Like you kind of think about some of like the little nuggets in the past, like even when he had the Bray Wyatt match and he was just in an NWO uniform, it was like, dog, that can be dope seeing Cena as a heel. Like that was probably a lot of people was like, that's the only time we really go get to see Cena heel. So for them now to really full on turn the key, like I want to see where he goes with the gimmick. There was an interview he had years ago, I guess, or talking about his heel turn that he would have done in 2012. And just how he would have changed the music up, how he would have redid his attire and things like that. And it got me like, he might take some of those ideas still from them, but this is 23 years later. So, 13 years later. Good God. 13 years later. So, a lot of those is probably like, nah, this probably wouldn't fit no more. But I'm real curious to see what he does change. Does he change the music? Does he change the attire? Does he change, like, is it now fuck them kids? Instead of making the wishes, because I seen that they did trademark Break-A-Wish.
Break-A-Wish.
I was like,
that's gonna be cold.
He gonna be out here breaking kids' feelings, my boy. Cena crushing kids' spirits. Man, like he really gonna be out here fuck them kids for real.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait.
Crazy.
Shaolin said that these heel Cena promos might be ass, though. I could not disagree more.
He learned.
Just built up.
Yeah, when he was the doctor of thugonomics and he was able to like just talk about people all the time and do all that stuff, like he used
that
to
shit ain't gonna fly though. Because that was like 65% gay jokes. Like that's.
I'm not saying he gonna.
I know. I'm just saying. Like,
he got it in him. He got it in him. Dwayne asked, "Can people now see Cena?"
Cody
Fuck
can.
him. That's all I do.
Well, maybe not, because like Travis Scott smacked the shit out of
For real,
hey, man. Like Cody's injured, like for real, like in real life, because of this nigga, fam. Like that shit is nuts, fam. Like really,
the way
you know it too much.
The way The Rock was like, I told him to get his shit in, like I told him to make it count, but I didn't mean it like that. He smacked the shit out of him.
He lined him up.
So I was like, God damn.
He turned his head, made sure he looked. Oh my God, damn.
Y'all want to see Travis Scott in the ring?
You said what?
So y'all want to see Travis Scott in the ring?
No, but I heard he's in training.
Getting smoked by somebody. Need to.
It's about to be Cody and Metro.
Where's Brian Breaker?
Cody and Bad Bunny.
Cody and Metro.
Where's Brian Breaker at?
He was just on Raw.
That's what he was on.
Shit. No, but let him find Travis. Where's Brock? What Lesnar?
You know Brock Lesnar ain't.
What Gunther?
No, you know Brock could come destroy niggas. He knows for that.
He said nothing but a word.
Let me ask you one more question about the heel turn. How do y'all feel about the call that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and Wade Barrett had during the moment?
I honestly couldn't tell you a word that they said. Like I was locked into the moment. I couldn't hear none of it.
I don't remember nothing they said, honestly.
And maybe that's a valid
I mean,
question.
that's honestly like that's perfect. Like you should just let the moment breathe. Like I don't need you. Like I know what JR would have done, but like sometimes you just kind of let the moment.
JR would have got it over.
Would have been crazy.
Hey, JR would have had so much.
He would have had a heart attack, fam.
Son of a bitch! That
Why, John?
Yeah,
Why?
the whys would have been so serious.
Man,
of all
he
people,
would've
the Rock, John, not the
Your
Rock.
soul.
Oh, damn it to hell.
to the devil.
Yeah, he'd have been hurt.
Shout out to JR, man.
Big shout out to JR, man, because
But,
I liked how real Cole, because Cole ended up cussing at some point during it, and then afterward you just hear it go silent, and you see him in the ring actually checking on Cody. Like I loved that part of it, but like McAfee's initial I felt like it just the timing was a little off. But when I saw the actual video of them doing the call, they both were just standing up, but they like just shocked, and I was like, see that adds to it. Like in real time hearing it, I was like, I didn't hear them, but when I went back to rewatch it, I was like, this is the moment that's going to be played forever. So I wanted to hear like the call behind it. It was all right. But I did like to let it breathe at the beginning of it.
But shout out to Michael Cole during the Sami Zayn and KO match. He was getting his shit off during that match, though.
Yeah, he was.
Like he was calling the hell out that one. So shout out to Michael Cole for that one.
Michael Cole.
Another thing about JR, he is executive producing a woman's wrestling movie that's coming out. It come out in theaters too. I think in a few weeks. He's the executive producer.
Come out this week, I think.
Oh, it's this week? Okay.
I believe so. Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's about like old women's wrestling from like 100 years ago, like pre-Fabulous Moolah even.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out. Okay.
I
did see too in the comments when just asking best moments from Elimination Chamber. Shaolin said Jay Cargill coming back. Sly said Jay Cargill, and like I said, like they started the show off with a bang with her coming through and just beating the brakes off of Naomi. The brakes off of Naomi, and Bianca sold that so beautifully in that pod
really
of just
did.
like the why.
The way she was like beating on the pod, like stop.
What are you doing? They actually released like the pod footage too of Bianca during that moment. If y'all have not seen that, go and watch it because it was fantastic. Just hearing her clearly and just seeing her fall back against the pod, beat up on it again. Why? What are you doing? Why? What are you doing? And Jay.
And then another thing, crazy. Like we just talking about that, but like these wrestlers aren't just like great performers in the ring, but like they're great actors though. Like I really feel like that they need to start, getting like a little credit for like at least like the writing or something for wrestling, because like they are actors. Like I ain't saying they got to get Oscars and shit like that. But
No.
They do deserve some type of.
Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Mr. Box Office Movie Star, 18 million motherfucking movies, can't even slit his throat right. Like when he was doing it, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And then he blew a kiss. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this? This is all of the theatrics over there. Bro,
I like the players as well.
Well, like
it's always been the easiest thing.
Rock don't have the greatest dexterity in his finger. Remember, he did it. He acknowledged the tribal chief like this.
I was like, why is his hand going like this and shit? And then he threw it around. I'm like, he was just playing that off. That's all this was. He was like, fuck, I fucked it up. But he just blew it off with a kiss. I'm like, what the fuck is the kiss for? Like, Rock was doing too much. He was doing too damn much. I was like, you can't get a finger slit off my boy. It was healed, man, and shit. I'm like, go back and watch that. When you see him, he gonna like all up here. Then he gonna try to play it off with a kiss.
Like for me, the best part of the card though was like the totality of it. Like it wasn't necessary. Like it was shocking because it was like, oh damn, they actually did it. But like I don't think that they were like, we'll go through kind of like our review, but it was kind of predictable and like the thing, like you could see everything coming, but it's like that's why execution is so important. Like like everything hit the way it was supposed to. Jay coming back, Bianca winning in the chamber, the Trishan, whatever her name is, match, whatever, KO and Stammy, you knew exactly what they were going to do, and they showed them look out. Like the men's chamber, we knew Cena was winning, still enjoyable. And then the heel turn, like if you watched this show last week, we predicted that to a T, and it still came off like even better than we imagined. Right. So it's like it doesn't have to just be like swerve for the sake of swerving. It's like if you build up your audience and their expectations, and then you execute on that, like it can be just as enjoyable as, oh my God, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Like it was predictable to a degree, but also like very enjoyable, and they hit every mark that they needed.
And to that point, when it comes to our cast predictions of Elimination Chamber, myself, Ken, and Eric were all a perfect 4-0 on our prediction. Tim was 2-2.
Dare to be different.
Didn't pay off on this one. Did not pay off. So on the season, Tim is 4-4, while wait a second, my math is off.
When I see that earlier, I was like, "Hey, yo!" So
we 6-2, and Tim is 4-4. So,
another thing we predicted was the Randy Orton coming back after.
Yes, and I think that Kevin Owens, Randy Orton sounds like a WrestleMania match to me. Speaking of matches, what do y'all think was the best match on the card?
Ladies' Chamber.
Yes, sir.
I agree. It was just from beginning to end a fantastic match. Jade set the tone. Liv played it perfectly. All the spots between Liv and Bianca Belair were A1. When she whipped that woman with that braid at the top of the pod,
it was loud as hell.
It was crazy loud. Like it echoed.
Yeah. It was loud. I was like, yeah, dang.
It made me hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Now before we get too far away from the Jade and Bianca talking the way that Jade beat the hell out of Naomi, let me just say one other person who replicated an ass whooping almost to that degree, like right there, was when Bailey came out of her pile. Lil Roxanne ran in there. She beat the dog shit out of that woman. She was banging her head against the glass and up and down, threw her against the cage, threw up the top, the bottom, stumped her ass out, stepped over her with the Jordan shit. Like she beat the dog shit. Like it was. If you go back and look, it was almost as bad as what Jade did. I was like, what the fuck did Perez do to? Oh, I know, but damn, beat the shit out of her.
The moment that had me going like, golly, was when it was just Bianca and Liv left at the end. And Bianca had like Liv like around. She was just whipping Liv into the pod. And she would whip Liv into the cage and she would whip her. And then she missed the cage and hit her head on the actual railing part of the pod. I was just sitting there like, they going crazy right now. When Liv had Bianca's braid, she pulling the braid back, punching her, pushing her to the cage, pulling the fantastic work.
Yeah, she has an injury too. I don't know what it is though.
Who?
Liv.
Damn. Because so from that match, there's a couple things that I now have on my must-see list. Couple matchups. I need to see Bailey and Roxanne. Got to see that. I feel like they will have like a night of the show, a showstopper, a match of the night kind of match that they can probably put on. I got to see Liv versus Bliss. That's now must see. And I will say, in the same degree, I'm gonna give Liv her flowers in the moments. Liv has grown a lot, especially within the last year as a wrestler, inside, outside the ring. The stories that she's been involved with, even the matches ain't like she's been putting on good match after good match. Like they've been interesting, at least to say the least. The stories that have been told by her with those matches inside and outside the ring, like Liv is legit. So like I gotta see it. Like Liv versus Bliss would be something I would see on a WrestleMania card. I feel like now, like that's legit a banger. But yeah, those two matches for sure. Like I'm like, I gotta see both of those.
I feel you on that one. Ken, I saw that you had a different favorite match. Myself, Tim, and Eric all at that women's chamber match. But what was your favorite match from Elimination Chamber?
I say KO and Sammy. I'm here for chaos, man. And I'm here for like fuck the wrestling. Like let's just beat the hell out of each other. Whatever's under this ring, I'm for the pull out, pause, and I'm for the beat the hell out of you with it. Like I love that. I love just description. I said pause, nigga. But I just love like destruction, you know. And they put on a really good match. Like segment KO was beating the hell out of Sami's. Like Sami Zayn should have just stayed down a few times. But
Sami got a couple licks back.
no, he did. He definitely did. But I don't know, man. And then Randy Orton coming back, like they just put like icing on the cake. And I'm glad that he came back like after everything was done and all of that too, because it made it better. Unless instead of him coming out and then, you know, interfering and helping somebody else win or whatever. But I think it was a good match, man. They beat the hell out of each other. I was very entertained from beginning to end. The pacing was good. Because, you know, sometimes with those matches, the pacing seems to be off.
You can slow down and shit.
Slow down. But this match was steady the entire way. Shout out to WWE, how they had the lights off and stuff like that, so you can just focus just on like what's going on in the ring and around the ring. So yeah, shout out. I think that was a great match.
Agreed. Fill in the blank. The MVP of Elimination Chamber was, and I'll start because we just talked about it. My MVP was Liv Morgan of the show. From the way that she reacted when Jade initially came out, of like the panic, like the it wasn't me, to her relishing in the fact that Naomi was getting the brakes beat off of her. Like, she's in the back celebrating, she's smiling, she leaning on the ropes, she's just sitting there like chilling. The spot she took of getting whipped in the first place by that braid, the welt initially, just the sell job that she always does, the offense, the creativity of her using Bianca's braid to pin Alexa Bliss down the stretch, her being able to sell, the fight between her and Bianca at the end. Like, she was the perfect heel to go up against the faces in that cage. She executed her job really well. She was my MVP of the entire PLE. Eric, who was your MVP?
One of the same lines, like Bianca. Like, I think Bianca, we talked about it also, like her reaction in the pod, like kind of, you know, coming out and kind of shaking it off and then going, you know, Super Cena as far as throughout the thing, but just like her back and forth with Liv at the end, like everything just kind of hit, and she kind of skated that line where it's like you weren't even thinking about like, oh, was she involved? Like there were like layers on her performance that had like she had to hit to kind of sell that story, but then also be able to then pivot to, you know, like this crowning achievement of, you know, securing her spot at WrestleMania. So like I think in that same vein, like they both really did heavy lifting in that chamber match to really sell the story as a whole, like of the match, and then also the women's division as a whole and where they're going.
Facts. Tim and Ken, I see you both have the same MVP. So Tim, why don't you start off with your MVP of the chamber? Then Ken, you can kind of do the ad libs for your Baka twin.
Mr. Everno. I got Cena because not only was the ending good, but like he came in, showed that he clearly been trying to make sure that he was straight to be in the ring, because he shot out the gate Super Cena. He was giving AAs to every damn body, throwing motherfuckers across the ring with him. I'm like, oh, you come in like that? That's what we gonna do here? Okay, cool. Even down to the very end when him and Punk, it was just him and Punk and everything like that. But I do feel like the added entertainment in that portion of the match was Seth Rollins screaming "die" to see him Punk as he was getting choked out. I was like, he just die,
holding the cage.
Do it. Look, watching him making sure he out of there. He wasn't leaving until he was gone.
Seth Punk is the epitome of on site at this point. Like,
facts,
man, they hate each other. And
they're like the chicken and Peter Griffin on Family.
Like, he had to watch the man's soul leave his eyes before he left the ring. He hanging onto the gate. Is he dead yet? Okay, and then walked off.
As soon as he knew, like, yep, my job here is done. And real quick, the way they started Raw with Punk just coming out on a just pissed, and then coming out and asking the crowd, who should I start with? Like, who? I got so much to say. This is my State of the Union address. Like, who are we starting with?
He hit
this
that
man called The Rock and Cena bald fraud.
That's the best Punk. Like, a pissed off Punk is the best Punk.
What he said, ball fraud. So I'm gonna keep that in the tuck because I got a couple cats that I can use that motherfucker.
Hell no.
Call somebody a bald fraud. It's
Man.
crazy.
Dan, do you have anything to add to the John Cena MVP case for Elimination Chamber?
John Cena did his job, and he did his job very well. Again, like Tim said, he came out hot. He looked really good during the match. He didn't look like he wasn't supposed to be there, if that makes sense. You know, sometimes older guys come and he's like, fam, like, you really shouldn't even be out here trying to do this right now. But shout out to him. His pacing and everything was good. And then breaking everybody's heart, bro. Like, turning the ultimate heel, making, like, one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. You know, so I feel like that's an MVP in itself, man. Like, shout out to John Cena. Fuck him, but shout out to him.
Yeah.
I can't argue it either. I cannot argue that. A scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being absolute garbage and 10 being absolutely fantastic. Would recommend. Please watch this immediately. What would you rate Elimination Chamber?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10. Definitely a 10.
Big 10. As soon as it finished, I said 10 out of 10. No notes. No notes.
Yep.
Y'all did y'all thug thizzle on this.
That entertained from beginning to end.
As
like,
Eric would say, I was thoroughly sports entertained throughout that entire. Mark came and he said 11 out of 10. He said this broke the scale. This ain't even.
It was fantastic. It was a great pay-per-view.
Fantastic. One of the best
Give me some
that we've seen. And they've had consistent good events. So like for this one to just blow it out the like
and
beginning
and
the
last
end.
one until before Mania, right? This is the last one until Mania. Perfect way to go into Mania.
They kicked open the motherfucking door like that. You ain't think it was a Mania season? Now we are, my guy.
Now we are. Yeah, perfect way.
Yeah.
That was actually that was my next point, was that I was gonna say, like, people need to just let shit breathe, man. Like let it unfurl. Like it's storytelling, so you're not just gonna get everything all at once. And you probably wouldn't even want that anyway. Like if everything is just like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, it starts to just feel like monotonous. You know what I mean? Like you need kind of like the peaks and valleys of storytelling. So it's like, no, you didn't get everything that you wanted at Royal Rumble, but that's because they were setting up, giving you everything that you wanted at Elimination Chamber to then give you everything that you wanted at Mania. Like it's a progression. Like people were kind of killing, like, oh my god, I can't believe Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. You could just have John Cena. Y'all doing Cody and John Cena anyway. It's like you have to set up the story. Like John Cena losing the Rumble and then doing that promo is what sets up Elimination.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like people wanted instant gratification on the Jey storyline. It's like, okay, well, it seems like she was hurt, and 2, like they waited for the perfect time to bring her back for it to have the most impact, so that you can go straight into a new story with Jey and Naomi. Like I think Triple H was saying, like they didn't even like they kind of set that story up without even knowing like how they were going to pay it off, but like they had that bullet in the chamber essentially that they could then deploy at any point. I'm trying to think of other stuff that was kind of the Rocket Bad Blood. So like everybody's like, after
he came
the Royal
out
Rumble, when he didn't come out, or when he came out on SmackDown, it didn't really. They're like, oh my god, like, because you thought it was supposed to be setting up a 3-way with Roman and Rock and Cody. Like that ain't what they were doing, and they were setting up something even bigger than that, or at least on par. But it was different, and it's like you kind of got to let it play out before you can really judge.
Yeah.
Like where they're going with stories. And like they always have time to correct too. It's like, okay, they try something, it doesn't work. Like you can kind of make
you pivot out.
8 out of lemons. Like if something doesn't work on the initial thrust.
Mark said,
but I know I'm up.
Real quick, Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena was amazing. Do y'all think
that was my boy?
Think he gonna rap again?
I don't think
so. So I was thinking about that, right? And if they do kind of remix, Wigga John Cena for 2025, like what does that even look like?
Wigga, Jesus Christ.
But I mean, like he is with the final boss, so like there has to be a little sauce on him, right? And now I'm like, this is me messing with now, so like this is not within the realm of possibility. But like I want, like he needs like some underlings, some henchmen. I want to see Street Profits with this John Cena, this Rock, like one that elevates them. But I think that their aesthetic with Cena and Rock, like I just feel like that's kind of like the perfect thing. And like they can spin that into like if they do want to do the Bianca heel turn sometime,
I like that.
she just slides into the Cena role when Cena kind of passes through and retires, and like then you got the whole like Black Mafia
like
family essentially. Like
I like that.
It's funny that you mentioned Bianca
I like
heel
that.
turn because I've been thinking for the last couple months. I'm like, before she
It's
won
cool.
Elimination, I was like, she ain't really been in those stories. I was like, they slowly trying to come back. I was like, but I need Bianca at some point to join the Profits. Just that's what I would like. Kind of like how everybody wants the heel scene and stuff like that. I want Bianca just one time to just join them and be heel. And just they have their own faction. I've been thinking about that a lot recently until she just won this past Saturday. Because I'm like, what can she do? I'm like, well, shit, she need to be with them. Now all of a sudden they got a new aesthetic. I don't know if y'all see, IG or anything like that with the new video and shit. But yeah, I'm with you on. I need that to be a thing too with her. Like, shit, this might even be in there because she's not completely innocent yet.
Yeah, she's not technically completely innocent. I think that she is, but there are some people who believe Bianca also had a role in Jay getting stomped out.
Because did you see what she said about Rhea?
Which, by the way, Rhea actually lost the title.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a good match though. It was
a
Yeah,
fantastic match, but I was so shocked. Like, is it really going to be Io, Sky, Bianca at WrestleMania, or do y'all think it's going to be a triple threat?
I think
No,
that's triple threat.
triple threat.
that's the clear setup for a 3-way. Never mind.
When she walked out at Elimination Chamber, I was looking at Sam. I was like, "This looked like it's gonna be a triple threat." Because that's why I kept asking about the Io or Rhea thing. I'm like, why do they keep mentioning it? Because they don't never mention both competitors before like a pair. Like if they have a title match like that, they usually the winner would take Rhea.
They do.
I haven't seen it too often.
They do.
Where they
They
mention
do.
both, like either or.
This situation doesn't happen super often where it's like a big title match ahead of
Right.
WrestleMania, but they generally do that. Or you'll see the graphic and it's the two people within their slash, and it's like they're going to be going against whoever that person is. So they do that part of it, but like,
Not
I
like,
just,
like it's
I
not
just
that
didn't
often.
think that she was going to lose.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was interesting, especially when he offered. Like when she, I think we mentioned it when she offered it to him. We was like, could she? Like even then, but like they pulling out their bag of tricks to make sure that she's straight. Like it's crazy.
For me, it was like because it's been kind of rumored like Bianca, Rhea. I think I heard also like maybe putting Io into that match or like having Liv. Like there were different permutations essentially, but like when it was clear that it was going to be Bianca at least challenging, I'm like there ain't really a story there. Like they both faces, like they're like the story is essentially we want to see them wrestle each other, but like there wasn't like a storyline key to it. But like this instantly kind of cooks that because it's like, okay, you made me lose my title. Like, yeah, it's kind of my fault, but also like you were here, you took me off my game. Like, what are you doing here? Like, it automatically kind of cooks up a story where there was none, essentially, 48 hours ago or whatever it was.
To that point, because Bianca put her hands on Rhea during the match, I was like, this ain't no DQ.
Referee's discretion.
Hey, ref saw Rhea push her first, bro. I'm just saying.
Like, he want to let it. Hey, but shout out to Io though. She has won every single, I think, women's title that you can win in the WWE now. So shout out to her.
Oh shit, Grand Slam champ now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, outside like the new belts they just made, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, not the
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental in the US.
All right, well, yeah, man.
Shout
listen, wrestling is cooking with grease right now. If y'all are not watching wrestling, we've been saying it for a while, but like seriously, y'all,
get into it.
You are missing out on some high quality entertainment at this moment. Mark said, "Happy Mardi Gras, y'all! Happy Mardi Gras to everybody who celebrates."
One thing before we get off wrestling, I just think it's always funny to me, like when something big happens in wrestling, and then you see people that ain't never talked about wrestling before, like they be coming out the woodwork. It's like y'all be closet wrestling fans, like you just don't want the world to know it. Like I see you, because Shannon Sharp, you don't be talking about like he does occasionally, but like you don't talk about wrestling on First Take, but like now everybody on the panel
got an opinion.
Knew the magnitude of John Cena turning heel and knew about Hulk Hogan, and like they had a whole wrestling conversation, and they weren't like, oh, what does this mean? Like it was all like everybody knew what was up. Like, and then on Twitter, it's like people I ain't never seen tweet about wrestling before. Like, oh my God, John Cena turned heel. And that wrestling on the Daily Show, like it was just everywhere. I'm like,
John Stewart snapped. Jon Stewart snapped with his analogy.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He snapped. But no, you right. Cause like people at work, like they always put on like the replays of the game from the night before, like if it's a Bucks game, NBA, NFL, whatever. But then today it was, oh hey man, yeah. Since we talking about the crazy changes in the world, Cena, man, you know you talking about. I'm like, dog, and you motherfucker, I'll be in here talking about shit, and don't nobody got shit to say. And all of a sudden today, everybody want to talk to me about wrestling. Watch out, bro.
Watch out, cuz. Watch out.
All right, let's move over to NBA. We got two big NBA topics. One is like the bright side of the league since the trade deadline, and the other one is like just the trashness of the NBA season for a handful of teams. So let's start on a higher note. Let's get the good news, the good conversation first, and then we can hit the other side of that.
Yeah, so we're about a month out, like past the trade deadline. Some teams really remade their rosters. So my question is kind of simple. Like after 1 month, who to you has won the trade deadline? So the Warriors are 8-1 with Jimmy. The Lakers are now number 2 in the West, at least as of tonight, or going into tonight. And like so far, the Bucks have been clicking with their new additions, and like they're integrating them pretty seamlessly into the fold. So like those are 3 examples. Like you don't have to use that list, but like to your like in your opinions, like who won? Like it's early. Like obviously things can change, but like as of this moment, like to you, who's had the best trade deadline?
I feel like you kind of have to start with the Luka part of it all because no one thought that was going to happen.
No.
Who thought that they were going to really trade Luka, and then he ends up with the Lakers, and then you see them.
Look at God. Look at God.
Of all teams, the Lakers,
God
like
is good.
They just clicking right now. Like Kim, what have you seen different now with this team with Luka at the helm? Because I know Luka has had some shooting problems early on in his Lakers tenure, but he also hadn't played ball since Christmas before.
Exactly. So that was, I think for people that was kind of like, I haven't really seen a lot of people that was talking crazy about him, his performance, knowing that, okay, you got to get acclimated with the team, and he hasn't played in a minute. So, of course, it's going to take a while for him to get hot, to get back in the flow and things like that. But offense, it seems like our offense flows fluently now, if that makes sense. Like everyone, like all the role players know kind of where to be at. LeBron is just out there just running around, letting, him and Luka, their connection is getting better and better each game. And defensively, like, shout out to Luka for trying. Like, Luka Luka been trying to help the D. I ain't gonna say it's gonna last that long, but he definitely is trying. And seeing the effort that he's putting in is it's great to see, man. I will keep saying it, bro. Like, no homo, but Luka look good in the Lakers jersey, man. And it really still is crazy. It's like I'll be watching these games. I'm like, fam, I'm watching my Lakers with Luka and LeBron on the court.
Crazy.
What is really happening right now, man?
Yeah, I was watching the other night. That's why I had to text you. I'm like, it's just crazy to see this motherfucker in a damn Laker jersey.
Yeah,
like doing this shit.
This is crazy, man. But I love it. Oh, and my jersey came too.
Oh, I know you. You get
I
the purple.
No, I got the gold one. I got a Juju jersey too.
Hey, I ain't mad at it. Mark in the comments said Bucks and Lakers. Anyone else agree that the Bucks since the trade deadline? Feeling good about the Buckaroos going forward. Tim got I
feel a lot better. I feel a lot better about it.
Disgust on your face for
no, because I was trying to decide between the Bucks and the Golden State joint because
it's the Warriors for me. But I think the Bucks have been looking good.
That's why I was like, because it's the Warriors. I mean, Jimmy being over there and them going on a run that way, and it looks like what Luka has helped LeBron look like, which is a little bit younger, give him a little bit more space, a little more opportunity. Jimmy's done that for Steph. And so it's given Steph has been just going bananas. Yes, bro. Like he's just been doing shit that he's been looking like the Steph that people expect since Jimmy's gotten there, which again it's a relief for him and shit like that. They still got shooters because you still got cats like Buddy Hield over there. Brandon P ain't been playing bad either. It's like Jimmy helped because he creates his own gravity itself. And he can pass, and he's a two-way player. Like he helped he helped them out a shit ton. Like Golden State, I feel like is a problem for people in the West now too. Like the Lakers and Golden State before the trade deadline, hell, even the Bucks, like with us, we were like, okay, cool. Like where we at, it's probably about what we gonna be. But with the additions for all three teams, all of them have raised their ceilings, and I feel like their floors as well.
Yeah, Jimmy, he just adds another guy, so you can't necessarily focus all your attention on to Steph Curry. He gives you more shot creation. He also is just somebody who's really good at moving the ball and continues to make sure the offense doesn't grow stagnant. But the Warriors, I don't know, their starting lineup, like Jimmy Butler's the tallest person in their starting lineup now because they go Jimmy, they go Pods, they go Draymond with Steph, and is it Moses who's the fifth starter for them? I think it's Moses, but regardless, it's another guard. Like they're a very
Jimmy is what, 6'7"?
6'7".
Jesus.
So they're just running, but think about it. Like the two undersized bigs, quote unquote, in your lineup is Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, two extremely intelligent players who just know where to be, know how to help. It's just been working really, really well for them. And since the trade deadline, the Warriors are third in net rating. They're fourth in offensive rating, and they are third in defense. Like they have been hooping since the trade deadline.
You got two motherfuckers over there like, hey, get your bitch ass over there and play some defense. Like, damn, bro.
To your point about intelligence, like that's what stood out for me with both the Lakers and the Warriors, where it's just like you said, Luka hasn't been shooting well. Jimmy's not a shooter, but like because of their intelligence, like they unlock so much. And like if you put basketball geniuses together, like they're going to figure it out. So like, yes, on paper, Luka and LeBron are a little bit duplicative. Like they do all the same stuff. Like they operate the same areas of the floor. Like you would think like maybe they step on each other's toes a little bit, but it's like, nope, we know exactly what we're doing. If I do this, I can leverage that. So you get this, and now you can do like it's an instant mind meld. Same thing with like Draymond and Jimmy and Steph. Like it's just like we know exactly what we need to do and how us playing together and playing off of each other is going to unlock so much for everybody else. So it like I didn't expect it to click this quickly, but I'm not surprised that these additions have helped these teams so much.
Mark added that having two a-holes is amazing for the Warriors.
Also that, like I said when they made the trade, like either they're going to be the best of friends or they're going to be fighting before we get to April. So it seems like it's option A at this point.
Mark also added that Kuzma has been a pleasant surprise, and I would absolutely agree with that. The shooting has been as advertised. Okay, I'm going to start there. The shooting has been as advertised, which is not great.
I was going to say every time you make a three, I'll be surprised. Pleasantly surprised.
But he's been better defensively than what I expected. Kuz, he has been better when it just comes to moving the ball. Like he's also somebody who likes to push the pace. Like he gets the ball, he's looking up the court, which the Bucks didn't really have many guys who did that. Ironically enough, he helps them get out there and run. He's been anchoring these bench lineups, which I don't know how productive those would be come playoff time. But in the regular season, when you're just trying to buy some minutes, especially with Giannis on a minutes restriction, it works. It makes sense. So, like, the Bucks are 7-3 since the trade deadline themselves, and we know that Giannis missed the first 3 games of the new era, I believe it was, because he didn't play before the All-Star break. So, the Bucks have been doing really well. And before we move off of this is a team that didn't really make a huge splash at the trade deadline, but just shout out to the Detroit Pistons. I said it last week, but when I looked at the numbers of just teams since the trade deadline, the Pistons are 10-1 since the deadline. 10-1. They have the second best net rating, the 5th best offense, and the number 1 defense in the league since that time. So
that's nuts.
Shout out to them Pistons, man. Shout out to the Pistons. The Pistons are not the Pistons, and also the Blazers have been surging. I think they're like 5-1 over their last 6 games. And the Trailblazers are what I thought the Hornets would be this season. And the Hornets have just been trash. They're a very bad basketball team.
Yeah, I think the Hornets are a year away, and I think that if they get the top pick, then I don't think LaMelo's gonna be there. But
I think he'll trade.
on the Bucks thing, one thing that I had underrated in my I'm still. I think it's worked so far. I do question how much the additions will help in the playoffs, compared to what they had before. But I think raising the defensive floor was important, and they did accomplish that. One thing that the point that I was getting to about kind of not taking as strongly into consideration is that Giannis' shooting is better. No, he's not shooting threes, but having spacing around Giannis isn't as vital as it had been in years past because he can knock down a 15 to 18 footer, whereas that has never really he's been shooting a lot of them, but it's never been an efficient shot for him. So that kind of changes the team that you have to build around Giannis. Which again, it takes a while. You have to retrain your mind to it's okay, we have a large enough sample size now to where it's he's a mid-range shooter.
Yeah. Mark added that he's a elite in the mid-range. I believe Giannis is still top 10 mid-range shooter in the league right now.
I like how
it's been going on long enough to where it's okay, this is actually a weapon. This is something that you can kind of bank on. So just surrounding him with 4 shooters isn't as necessary. I still don't ever want to see him share the court with Jericho Sims that I'm good on, but integrating I guess they had Andre Jackson in that spot previously. So I should have known, but they don't need shooting from everywhere on the floor with Giannis like they needed to in the past.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now the flip side, gentlemen, just some bad luck Bears. And not come on, man. You know that's crazy. They ain't no Chicago Bears.
The fuck?
I just wanted to have a conversation with y'all about which team is winning the Nightmare Season Award, AKA whose season has gone the furthest off the rails. I have 4 teams for consideration, but if you have any others you want to throw on there, feel free. But I think this is the top 4. You got the Dallas Mavericks, who are currently 10th in the West. They're 32-20, which is quite impressive with the injuries that they've had. But now Kyrie has torn his ACL. He is going to be out for the remainder of this season. Jaden Hardy, in that same game as Kyrie, had a severe ankle sprain. He's going to be out for a while. They were already missing Anthony Davis. They were missing Gafford. They were missing Lively. They were missing PJ Washington. So they have 6 of their top rotation players out at the moment. They traded Luka. They raised season ticket prices amidst the fan base revolting. It's been a lot in Dallas. So that's one candidate there. Mark already in the comments said it's the Mavs. He already said that. That's the answer. You also have a team like the Phoenix Suns right behind the Mavericks in the standings, 11th in the West right now, 28-33. Just a team that started 8-1 this season. It was looking good. Kevin Durant got hurt. He came back and everything was just off from that point forward. It seems like there might be some locker room issues when it comes to Mike Budenholzer and the way that he's coaching. There's been weird reports coming out about how he's been telling Devin Booker to shut up. Not in that way, but pretty much saying you're talking too much. We need to have the coach's voices being louder. Kevin Durant ended up in trade discussions when he was wait, me? They benched Bradley Beal. They put Bradley Beal back in the starting lineup. They've just been bad. And this is a team that went all in. You look at their cap, what they have lined up. This is a team that expected to be competing for a championship, and they are currently fighting for a play-in spot, and they have one of the toughest schedules to finish out the season. Another candidate, the 76ers, the only Eastern Conference team I put on this list. Philly injuries. Embiid's knee, he is now shut down for the season. Paul George has not looked good so far this season.
He's podcasting.
He quit his podcasting now. He said he's focusing on the season, although he said this at the end of February. So
too late, nigga.
I want to focus on a championship when y'all 10 games under 500.
Right. They're promising rookie Jared McCain. He was out for the season early. The vets they added around them to kind of help solidify the rotation have been out. No Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon out. Just hasn't Philly, it's just not been good for Philly. They are in a position where also, if they don't finish top 6 in the draft lottery, they lose their draft pick. So then they had a bad season for nothing. And then the other candidate here is New Orleans Pelicans, 17-44. They have just been decimated by injuries from the beginning. That's really the case. Like every main rotation player in New Orleans has been injured. So what team?
Herb Jones is out for the rest of the year, isn't he?
I think so. What team has had the worst season? Which team has gone the furthest off the rails, in your opinion?
I think, like, in totality, is probably Philly, just because, like, they've been kind of snake bitten since training camp, essentially. But, like, just for the speed in which it just all went to shit, I have to go with Dallas.
Dallas.
Like, it's like they were already having kind of like an injury riddled season, but they were still treading water. Like they were still in a strong position where, you know, if they got healthy down the stretch, like they could still make a run. And essentially trading Luka has now like doomed their franchise, apparently, because it's just been bad news after bad news after bad news ever since that happened. And it's just it culminating with, you know, Kyrie tearing his ACL yesterday. It's they speed ran like essentially what happened to Philly this season within like the last month.
I had a thought about bad faith trades that curses franchises. Like the ones that come to mind is like Ray Allen in the Bucks, or we were cursed for a while.
Well, I mean, like the is like the curse of the Bambino with like the Red Sox trading
shit. Like, are we? I don't wish this on them, but it'd be interesting to see if this is the beginning of the curse of Dallas and they become like one of those teams, like the long Red Sox or the Cubs or any of the poverty franchises. Like
not poverty franchises,
the ones that constantly make bad decisions. Hello, Cleveland.
Yeah,
shit that. Like those are poverty franchises because you consistently get the wrong motherfuckers all the time. Chicago.
I think that making that decision in the first place is indicative of poor decision making. So then it kind of just snowballs from there, where it's like, if you're willing to make that bad of a trade, like if agreeing with your premise, like if you're willing to make that bad of a trade, like, yeah, of course you're going to make worse decisions when you have worse players or you don't have like the foundational guy to kind of, you know, right all the wrongs that you know, basically correct all your mistakes. Like if you have enough talent, you can kind of overcome that. But if you are willing to trade the guy that erases your mistakes, then you don't even have that covered. So like, of course, things are just going to snowball and get even worse and worse. Like this is just injury luck so far for Dallas, but also you could look at it like, you know, trading a guy that you're afraid is going to break down for
a guy who's been breaking down
for the last half decade. Again, bad decision making. So yeah, I think, I don't know if it's necessarily a curse or it's just like stupid people making stupid decisions.
Ken, what team would you say has been the bad news bears of the NBA so far this season?
I'm gonna say the 76ers though. Just like everything, it's just so much chaos over there, dude. And this is like they came like it's literally like you can't win for losing, and like literally no matter what you do, like you're not gonna have a positive outcome with this season. Mm-hmm. And Embiid, how many years have they been? You know, they've been dealing with this with Embiid, and then they end up getting Paul George, expecting him to be, you know, Paul George of old. And it took him half the season to realize he needs to focus on basketball and still be trash. Don't make sense. But I don't know. I feel bad for them. I really do feel bad for Dallas fans too, though. But
the fans, yes.
Yeah. In the end, Dallas, they saying that they ticket prices going up like 8% next season too. Like, man, y'all can eat a dick.
That was bold. That was really bold.
And they said they were doing it like fan engagement, like.
What are you talking?
Ain't no way. Though I will not.
Luka, like what? Fuck out of here.
Though I will not take anything away from the Pelicans. It started with Murray getting hurt.
Yeah.
And from that point, it was just like injury bug. Ingram been out, Zion been out. Like you said, the key pieces. Alvarado was out. It was like Herb Jones is out. Like
Trey
everybody
Murphy was out for a while.
Everybody that would have made an impact for that squad
DJ
has been
was out
gone
for
most of the year. Yeah, like it's just been everybody like taking turns. It's weird.
I just feel like the Pelicans have been cursed since they like. There's some voodoo on the Pelicans in New Orleans. Like they've had so much talent come through there, and like through injuries or people just not wanting to be there. Like I remember when Chris Paul got traded to the Clippers, and like they got back Eric Gordon, Al-Farouq Aminu, and somebody else, and like they just looked like hostages at their introductory press conference. Like that's just the vibe of pretty much everybody that comes to New Orleans. Like they just don't want to be there, and they get hurt on top of it. Like Drew stayed hurt when he was a Pelican. Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis. Like Zion has never been healthy as
since Ingram got back.
Ingram like gets hurt every year. CJ gets hurt every year. Like it's just like everything that can go wrong. Like if you remember when they made like the AD and the Drew trades, like they were stocked with as many draft picks essentially as like Oklahoma City. It was like Oklahoma City and New Orleans control the draft for like the next 5 years. And like they kept throwing draft picks in the trades that just didn't work out, and like trying to throw good money after bad, like just kept snowballing to where like now they're out of assets essentially. Like they have a team that's damn near a luxury tax team, but has 14 wins on the season. Their original franchise guy demanded a trade to LA, got traded. Their next franchise guy demanded a trade, got traded to LA. Like their next guy is apparently eating and fucking his way out of the NBA. So it's like
in and out of the NBA.
It's just not a good experience for the Pelicans in New Orleans.
I was recently thinking about when Boogie was down there, when they had the Boogie AD front court,
Boogie.
they were cooking, and then Boogie got hurt. I was recently just thinking about that because I was seeing some highlights of Boogie's first All-Star year, and I was like, golly, when DeMarcus Cousins was healthy,
Bro was different.
He was a beast,
and he was a bully still.
Big bully.
He was a beast.
And him and AD, like they were starting to really cook up in New Orleans
because he started shooting threes finally. Like he started knocking them down, so they started spacing the floor or something. But he still could cook in the paint and still boards. He was putting up 30 and 25. Like, what the fuck?
It was like if you know, people always compare AD and Giannis, but like he was super Brook for AD. He's like a big that can be the center and like. So you don't have to be, and also knock down shots so you guys can play together. Like it was kind of like the perfect match for AD, and like we got maybe a calendar year from the time he got traded to the time he tore his Achilles. And they were rolling too. Like they had Rondo on those teams, they had Drew. Like that was a team that probably could have contended, and
it just didn't work out. Triple T said they eating that New Orleans cooking and it's messing up their body. And
I've had
definitely some great food.
Can't blame them. Can't blame them.
If I got to sacrifice my ACL for some gumbo and some etouffee, like that's just what I got to do.
We get some gator bites, we get some redfish.
Some
Mark said, wasn't the arena built on an ancient burial ground for the Pelicans? I have no idea about that.
Hey, let us know.
I mean, it's right next door to the Superdome, so if that's the case, then the Saints would be just as screwed.
Same situation for that. But like, I think I would go with the Suns. Like all four of those teams definitely have a claim to it. But like for me, the Suns, given how like they got here, if you really think about it, like they were a finals team and they blew it all up to try to chase.
That was kind of a fluke.
Whatever you want to call it, that was a good basketball team.
That was a really good team.
And then they traded away a lot of those young assets to try to go and chase an instant championship. I still don't understand why they traded for Bradley Beal to begin with. And now they're saddled with that contract and the no trade clause for the next 3 years.
I'm thankful because his ass would have been over here.
I know. I'm so glad that didn't happen.
I'll say thankful.
No Beal in Milwaukee, but like they're in a. I don't know how they come back from where they are with the money they have tied up. How do they pivot out of it? And it seems like their new owner, Ishbia, like he just kind of makes irrational decisions at times. So like, I don't know how the future is going to shape up for them going forward. But the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Sixers, the Suns, those four teams, just seasons that were not expected and have just been utter trash. But y'all let us know in the comments as well. which NBA team do you think has gone the furthest off of the rails this year and why that is? Also, real quick, before we move on to basketball talk, we didn't mention it last week because I think it happened like right before we started recording, but shout out to Diana Taurasi. Shout out to the White Mamba who recently retired. Shout out to her, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, women basketball player of all time. Had to shout out to Rossi.
For sure. She was one of my like when I was first got into watching, like Diana Taurasi was my favorite player for a little bit, like a couple years. So I'm like, fuck around, just like her go. She out here hooping. No, but shout out to her. Like she definitely considered one of the GOATs for sure.
For sure.
Definitely one of the GOATs on the court, but also one of the GOATs in trash talking. Like Diana Taurasi, trash talking is legendary. Like one quote came out like when she announced her retirement. The
Draymond.
The Draymond one where they were at the Olympics and they were having a conversation. It's like the collection of the greatest U.S. basketball players of the day. And apparently Draymond was talking shit, and DT just out of nowhere was like, Draymond, what's it like to be the only person in the room that's never been double teamed?
Damn. Damn.
Dog. Hey, big ha-has. He said there with the
right.
face.
Right. Like, I mean, if you go to Diana Taurasi's Wikipedia page, and when you get down to the career highlights and awards, you're just gonna be scrolling for a while. Mm-hmm. You are going to scroll for a while because she's done it all. She's done it all. So shout out to Diana Taurasi and a legendary career and a legendary legacy that she has left behind for the game of basketball.
For sure.
Let's do some quick NFL. I know, Tim, you got an NFL thing for us real quick before we get up out of here. So let's talk football.
Okay. So real quick, nothing crazy. Free agency is about to open up soon. There's been a lot of bigger names getting released over the last couple of days. And since both of our football teams will have a little bit of cash to at least try to sign one impact player, I was just curious if you guys had a wish player or wish buy or wish list player. They'd be like, look, if we signed anybody in free agency, can we at least get this person?
I mentioned it, I think, last week, and it's not a big name, but I really want Byron Murphy, the cornerback from the Vikings. Because one, it helps to weaken the Vikings secondary. It adds to the Packers a young corner who can continue to grow with what this team has. I see Mark in the comments said Paulson Debo or Chase Young. I know Chase Young, Tim, that was one of yours that you were calling for. I can get with
just on bargain buy.
Yeah, I can go with the Chase Young wagon. I know Devontae Adams was recently released as well. If it's a stopgap thing, short. Dwayne just no to the Murphy.
No, we need that. And he called that man to man.
I need that from the Vikings.
He's a man-to-man corner, and we need that in our defense. Sorry, sir. We need that.
The flip to that is if the Packers move on from Jair Alexander, my fear is that he stays in the division. And if Ja goes to the Vikings or the Lions, woo boy.
Well, I've been seeing that what they thought initially that we would get back from him, which was pretty decent comp, is now like, no, he picking up steam. Like if people like, if you really go get rid of him, we'll give you something for him. Like,
he's a good player.
Now he's still a stud when he's healthy.
That's the part.
Well, somebody pointed out like if Deebo Samuel can get you a fifth, like you can at least get something for Jair.
Him getting traded for a fifth was nuts. I was like, a fifth? A fifth?
That's
Washington? I was like, shout out to Washington. Too little. At least get him a third.
Like he ain't been healthy and
a year and a half. Because he got hurt, I think, at the beginning of not last season, but like towards the end of the season before. And like it took him like half the season to kind of get back right. And then he had his own contract dispute that he was going through too. Like, no, but Debo's still a talent. And you put him over there with Daniels and now McLaren.
I mean, listen, right now they're saying that the Packers might end up releasing Ja. We'll see how that goes. Mark said send Ja to the Steelers. Listen, you can send Ja out of the NFC. I don't want to have to see him. Kendra, do you have any free agents for the Bears that you like? Yeah.
We need an O lineman. So,
I see y'all just traded for one from the Rams, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think
They need more than just one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I know Ronnie, dude from the Ravens, they right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Stanley, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I know he's a free agent. Yeah, he's a beast. So yeah, so yeah, we need all line. We need to work on the line. You know, we ready to take it to the promised land.
Ken, let me ask you this real quick, because Keenan Allen's a free agent for y'all this season.
Yes,
off
ma'am.
season. And do you think y'all need Keenan Allen back, or do y'all think y'all be smooth moving forward? Because I know he was a big part of like just the safety blanket for Caleb. Like I could see him coming back cheaper deal, but like, do y'all is Keenan Allen a high priority free agent for the Bears?
I don't feel like he would be because we can definitely pick up, a younger receiver that can develop. We was heavy in with our tight end last year too, and we still got more. So I don't feel like it do sound crazy to say like, Allen wouldn't be a high priority, but honestly, we can probably, if he's not gonna take less money, then we could probably do without him.
Okay,
It'd be okay.
Curious, yeah.
It'd be
Curious
okay.
how you saw that.
I wouldn't be hurt if they did it. I'd be like, okay, cool. But if they didn't, I'd be like, okay, I understand why they didn't.
I feel you on that one, but it'll be interesting. I'm curious to see if the Packers make a trade. I'm more interested in them trading for one of them edge rushers than some of the we can pick them up in free agency. Like if Max Crosby, if the Packers can get Max, Myles Garrett doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. The Browns seem very real about we don't really care that he want to trade. We ain't doing it. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but they seem like they own that. But Max Crosby. Woof,
man, I don't want to see him in Green Bay. Chill out.
I bet you don't, but I do.
Nobody want to see that.
But I do. All right, gents. Any other closing thoughts before we wrap up the show for the week? Nose. All right.
Nope. That's it. That's all.
We're good.
Well, appreciate everybody who came through live in the comments. If you heard, make sure you like up the video. Tell a friend about Tech File. And if you are not yet following us on social media, make sure you are at Technical File, TECKNICALFOUL on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Technical File Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. And it's daylight savings time this weekend, y'all. So we lose an hour. Just everybody be aware. But we have made it through the darkness of the winter, everybody. If you are somebody who suffers from seasonal depression or just the weather itself, you need some sunlight, it's on the way. It is on the way. And that makes me happy. So, but also to all the parents got to deal with your kids now with the hour. I feel for y'all. Prayers up. I know it can be difficult.
We're knocking at 5 o'clock. It ain't 6:30 yet. Go to bed.
As soon as they see any daylight pop up, bro, they wake up like they got jobs. Man.
Yeah, I know that can be tough. The hour switches.
And then don't want to get up on the days that you need to get up.
Exactly.
I want to get up at 6 o'clock on the weekend. My boy, you don't get
exactly. All week I gotta fight for you to get so we can go out the door.
But on the weekends,
your ass pop up like you got the first shift job and shit. Like,
so I gotta get to the money. You better lay your ass back down.
Get to that pillow, my boy. Lay down.
But that's the show for this week, y'all. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week with some more content for you. If you want to follow me on my personal social media accounts, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, PSN at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE.
If you want to follow me on social media, don't. The Eric J2 on Blue Sky. But for real, I don't need no more followers.
Damn. Ass out. Everyday_gentleman on Instagram. Okay, here's 216 on Twitter, Snapchat, and Blue Sky.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ask Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. We out of here. We're holla. Hey, participate next week. Don't get gun shy. No. It's y'all time to shine now. Y'all be yappy, bumping the gums. Let's go ahead and see it. Work it out.
Bumping the gums.
You ain't
Text
wrong.
file.
He did
We
that.
out of here,
Just play
y'all.
that music.
Hit 'em hard.
Let's go.
Red T-E-C-K, running back like where's my replay? Got it all in the mix, no DJs. Said it's hard in the game.
Turn this up.
Miscellaneous, spitting real talk for the entertainment. The past I set the game up, and I get stuck back down like a WrestleMania. Tell them that the big ain't no city, and home city, and I'll get it block, even on the low setting. And you know we keep saying, so we never gotta get to the name.
Hey, Shaolin, I need to hear it.
Ain't nobody else doing this like I. Better keep them cameras and microphones high, cause this one's a vibe.
vibe.
In this race with my tribe. I going live with the pie.
Hey.
Like it's no tomorrow.
Hey.
To my ear later. Shout out to my point guard. We about to hit 'em hard.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Really gotta shit off.